Hey, Caleb, you wanted to see me?
Ah, Spencer, my good fellow. I've been expecting you.
Yeah, so did you want something or
Want? Goodness, no. Require.
require?
Yes. I require your services for the briefest of moments.
Okay.
Surely you can see the predicament I'm in.
Well, actually, no, I can't. I lost my glasses at the pub last night.
A pub, you say? Surely you can't be serious.
As serious as a fought during a recto, 'cause I am. And stop calling me Shirley.
Rightio. Anyway, if your spectacles were affixed upon your face, you'd see that I, the host of the most prodigious writing and books podcast in the business, has been immobilized by a rather substantial stack of fallen folios.
What?
My to-read pile finally fell on me while I was taking a nap.
But you're on a podcast table.
I hardly see how that matters.
And you're naked.
I hardly see how that matters.
Dude, your hairy ass is touching my drink coaster.
I hardly see how that matters.
It matters to me.
Can you just unbury me?
No way. Your reckless reading got you into this mess.
Blockhead! Wait! Don't go! There's a copy of War and Peace wedged in my taint. Spencer! Can you at least leave me a bottle of whiskey? Hello? Can't get enough drunken nonsense? Listen to new episodes of the Drunken Pen Writing Podcast every Tuesday wherever you get your pods. Some news has been brought to my attention.
Oh, yeah?
Apparently, I have gone through a metamorphosis of
Oh,
late.
That's why you look like a cockroach.
Well, that was gonna be a cockroach regardless, but that's a different metamorphosis. Don't worry about that. You ignore the.
Just all the legs.
That's me eating skin flakes on the ground and in the air. Just what cockroaches probably do. I don't know. No, I have. I've been accused, and I realized today that there might be some truth in it. I think.
I kept on telling you to quit touching dudes' butts.
Again, that's not gonna stop. Just stop trying to make me stop touching your butt. Stop doing the stopping. No, what had happened was I was informed that I have turned into a literary snob, Spencer.
Oh, yes.
More than one person has brought this to my attention.
Because I know of one.
Well, you were one.
Yeah. Well, I never said it.
It's implied on your face. You're an open book. We've been doing this for 47 years or something. You're an open book at this point. I know all the pages, and they're very dirty and very sticky.
A lot of them don't open.
No, they don't open all the way. So I have been accused of being a literary snob. Mainly it started because I often razz you. You know, I say, Spencer, stop reading comics. I don't half-hearted. I don't mean stop reading comics.
Those funny books.
I just mean read more fine literature. You know, and I kind of turned you on to more literature over the years, and I've been reading more literature. We go to a comic book club once a month, and I find that more often than not now I don't enjoy the book that much, and I'm falling out of comics. A lot of it's modern comics, but also just, I don't know, just something about it has not appealed to me, and I thought, that's just comics, right?
Right.
Still like mangas as far as I know. I haven't read any in a while. But this is what's going to upset you.
Okay.
So I don't even know if I can say it to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have to shamefully look at the ground while I say this.
You need me to cover my eyes.
I don't want you to look at me in the eye when I say this. I'm reading Pet Sematary.
Okay.
I'm more than halfway through.
Not liking it?
Oh, I like Pet Sematary. The story is fine.
Yes.
And I've watched the movie, so obviously I know what's going to happen. So that's not going to be like, oh, this is as exciting as it would have been if I just read it without seeing the movies. I already know what's going to happen. But
not a fan of the writing style.
The prose is not hitting me very well. And it's Stephen King at what some people say is his best. Not just Pet Sematary, but the time period.
Right, yeah, because that's still pretty early.
Yeah, you think of like The Shining and Pet Sematary and It all around, in the 80s. But he was also on a lot of drugs. He's done a lot of things in this book that I find unforgivable.
Okay.
One, which I did not realize he was going to do, killed all the fucking tension and horror and suspense he could have built up by telling you when people were going to die before the chapter even gets there. So there's like the old lady next door, she dies, and he tells you this by saying, I guess you can say, well, now that you know she dies, it makes it so you're, anticipating the death, but I did not. So he says, like, oh, the old lady's gonna die, and like he's just a throwaway line opening a chapter or something along the lines of like, in 7 weeks when she dies.
Oh, okay.
But he did the same thing with Gage, which I did not think he was gonna do. I thought, oh, that's like the big climax, right? Like, that's gonna not the story climax, but that's a big moment in the book where
that's the turn.
That's how in the movie it's played. You don't know what's gonna happen, and then it does, and it fucks you up. I thought the book was gonna do that. No, he tells you chapters before it happens. Oh, yeah, Gage dies in 3 months or something. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Not good.
Yeah.
And also a lot of the Stephen King voice. I don't know if it was the time period or what, but I am not liking it now. It's kind of annoying me. Like the things in parentheses, which I find was okay in other works. Like I even enjoyed it in other works. But again, maybe it's because I've been reading such highfalutin literature, the best of the best, the creme de la creme, that I now am like, Stephen King's not as good as I thought.
Yeah.
So I don't, and that's, as you've known, I've read some more Stephen King's this year. I read The Long Walk, which I really enjoyed, but at the same time, it was early, so I didn't think, Stephen King, he was just getting his footing.
Right.
I didn't think so much about maybe these elements in the prose that weren't, top-notch writing. I was like,
because that was like teenager King.
Yeah. Plus
I'm sure he did revives and stuff,
But also Pet Sematary, which is bothering me, a lot of meandering and a lot of unnecessary filler, it seems. Like a lot of reiteration, which we've talked about with Haruki Murakami. It's like, why are you telling the same fucking thing over again? Like, we get into another chapter and you're replaying a whole other moment.
Yeah.
And then also the repetition, which is a tool that I know he uses in a lot of his work, where he'll say the same words or phrases or internal monologue. He'll, establish how a character is thinking. And we do that as real people, but in this book, it's starting to bug me.
Okay.
It's like, why are you fucking repeating this? And I think if you reread it, you might even see that now.
I was gonna say
going through the the lens of being a writer now compared to when you probably read it in high school.
Right. Yeah. I was gonna say it's been a while since I've read it, but I do remember afterwards being like, "Oh, this is fine."
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it in. I know like a lot of people do put that in like their tiers, and I think that's more movie than because of the book. But yeah, it would probably be different. I probably would, have a little probably different emotion, thoughts about it.
Going back, yeah. So I think that as a writer, I see a lot more of his, especially now that I am what I feel having a more full toolbox as a writer. I am seeing a lot of the things that he does not well.
More
compared to I used to, if I didn't have those tools in my belt or in my box, I didn't even know the use of them. So I would read it and just like, it's fine. But now there's a lot of things I'm like, this is lacking a good bit. Or things I've always heard that he overwrites a lot. Like the story's too long. And I never really saw it until now. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Because before you're just like, oh, it's kind of like watching a movie. Maybe it's a little long, but I don't mind. But then again, you think, well, what if I rewatch that movie? I'm probably like bored during those parts. So I don't know. The scene building's still great. The fucking woods and the character development's great, all that stuff, the emotions. Like the main thing is the emotional impact was stunted. Even though I knew Gage dies and all that, the emotional impact is really stunted when you tell me the kid's gonna die in so many months or whatever it was, well before that happens. I'm like, yeah. If I'm a reader reading this, I'm like, okay, now I'm like anticipating how the kid's gonna die. Which I think he even mentions the truck.
Yeah,
he starts off.
I do remember like the foreshadowing omen of just like, oh man, this is a really busy street that a lot of trucks go on.
That's the thing. Like he really builds the anticipation, which it has a minor climax when the cat gets hit, and then Lewis almost gets run over by a truck when he's crossing the street to get the dead cat. So he builds that up, and you're like, oh shit. But then when you mention Gage dies, everybody's like, oh, he gets hit by a truck, obviously.
Little funny note on this. That will either maybe make the book more enjoyable or just ruin it more for you. Whenever I was reading that was like in the heights of like the real like Louis C.K. was like everywhere. Yeah. So even though like they don't describe him at all, anything like that, just because it's that I was just always picturing like Louis C.K. doing all the fucking crazy shit that Louis is doing in the book.
A balding redheaded rube, just fucking over agitated all the time. So anyway, yeah. I didn't mean to ramble that much in the cold open, but me being a literary snob, I don't know if that aids or diminishes my opinions on things now.
Well, we've also talked before about how you're turning into a bit of a Stan Marsh.
Yeah, everything's just farts to me. Music, TV, movies, everything is mediocre. and I don't like it. And it's sad because I used to like things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because I don't want to like things. That's the problem. And there was a bit of a TikTok controversy. I don't have time to go into it now, so I'll just tell you off air, and maybe we'll discuss it next week. But it goes with the whole writers just being mediocre now. Not the writers we're going to mention on today's episode.
No, these are great individuals.
Yes, except for the one guy.
And no. We won't say, but they'll know.
Initials, NG. Actually, he's a great writer. He's just a piece of shit human. Again, the tub. I like to bring that up every couple episodes.
It's a fucking tub.
Yeah, but I won't name them now. Won't name them. So anyway, stick around. Today this is our 200th episode.
Yes.
Clap it a clap. It's not our 200th episode. It's our 200th main show episode.
Yeah.
You know what that means if you're not a consistent listener? We have Drunken Bullshit episodes. We have Book of the Month episodes. We have Murakami Minute episodes. We have a lot of different programs on this show. For some reason, I don't know why we did. Just because we didn't want to.
You do like an extra, pay for an extra podcast.
So it's very possible that we are at 500 plus episodes total.
I think the last time I looked, it was like over 400.
So we're closing on 500 just all together episodes. I'm hoping we reach the 200th Drunken Bullshit episode. That's the one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
That will do something for. But today, just for the 200th regular episode, we're going to discuss and promote, mainly just promote, the work of writers who have either been on the show or we just know.
Yeah.
That and there's a lot going to be missing. So I just did a call out this morning for the people that I'm just on Instagram basically. But there's like a lot of people that we've talked to over the years that I'm just not going to remember. And I didn't feel like looking through the giant list of episodes to find them. There's a lot of people that I used to talk to on Twitter that I don't fucking use Twitter anymore, really. So, not to mention all the people that were on the site back in the day when we had the magazine up. So there's a lot of writers that are not going to probably be mentioned. I'm probably going to do a very bad job of promoting these people's work. So when they're going to listen, I'm like, what the fuck? First you have a 20-minute goddamn cold open about Stephen King or a book written in the 80s. And then you're going to fucking go ahead and talk all this horse hockey about writers that you're not even going to discuss on the show. So yes, that's what's going to happen. But we'll do our best, right? Probably. Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah. So anyway, stick around and we will have an episode 200. I'm not even looking forward to like trying to come up with like a picture. I was going to do the DPW logo and go into shitty Microsoft Paint and just put 200 on it.
That seems about right.
As lazy as I can.
That seems about right.
That's the effort the show's getting. Well, also, one final bit of news. I fucking finally caved in and as a favor booked a guest. Guy who used to write for Bill Maher.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot of shit about Bill Maher on here recently, so I'm actually interested in talking to the fella. So that will be, and that's not till November, but we got lots of stuff. So we'll discuss more of this later. Fucking, I don't know. Here's some music. You are listening to the Drunken Pen Writing Podcast. I'm your host, Caleb James. With me, as always, Spencer, the Pensacola Pickle Pincher Church.
I don't like pickles.
Do you like Pensacola? It's in Florida, right? I think.
Never been, but if it's in Florida, it's probably going to be hot.
I've been to Florida once, and the people are irregular.
That's a nice way to put it.
Oh, I went to Panama City, so there was just like a bunch of... I'm going to put this politely. I don't know how to put this politely. Physically imbalanced? That's not right. That's a way to say old and disabled.
Honestly, I thought you were going with fat.
I was going with fat, but I don't want to say fat. They were bodily large. I don't know.
Girthy.
There was a lot of buffets in Panama City. A lot of golden corrals.
A lot of people in motor scooters?
And big trucks.
With nuts on the back?
A motor scooter that just goes right into the big truck. Like they could just drive. They don't have to actually get out of the scooter. So today I said we were talking about work of authors we enjoy, I guess.
Yes.
People we like. Some we've read, some we haven't. I think I've read everybody on this list, maybe. I don't have a list. I have a bunch of screenshots from the information I've gathered on the works. I decided to keep this episode as quick as possible. So the way I'm going to do that is I am going to author bio, the work that's being promoted. synopsis of the work, and some publisher information.
Yeah.
I figured that'd be the best way because then people could just look it up.
Right.
And if we remember these people, I would hope we would. I remember them. I don't know about you because you don't have interaction with some of these folks.
Some of the people I don't know. But
yeah, because you're not in the same esteemed groups I am. I don't know why. Well, the one is because it was from Horoscope 3.
Yeah.
We got a group together, and you were not in that.
No.
You were in the Cancer one that just came out,
Yes.
but you were not in the original.
No.
Even though I think that's the one you applied for.
Yes.
But they already had Cancer Fool or something, and they sent you down the road a couple years, and then you got
kicked me
$10.
down the road like
and then you got some money for your story. I mean, it was like a tentacle monster. I don't know. Is that what you're talking about?
The cancer story?
Yeah.
A monster under the bed story.
All right. So anyway, you know who we're going to discuss first? My hero. My personal hero. Jet-setting globetrotter. A Spaniard, man. A British Spaniard. A Spaniard from British descent. How do you describe this feller? He's been on the show many times.
I feel like we should each write a short story just what we think his daily adventures are.
I will use the word debonair.
Ooh, that's a good one.
James Bondian, but not quite.
Globetrotting.
I said globetrotter. I said jet-setting globetrotter. If you'd pay attention to me. You never pay attention to me. You don't even listen to me when I talk. That's okay. I don't probably listen to you most of the times either. I don't listen to anybody. So, this individual has been on the show numerous times, like I said. That is one Nicholas Obergon. I think he was our first guest, somehow. Wasn't he?
If not the first, he was like the first, like, what I considered a big guest.
He was our first esteemed guest.
Yeah.
No, I think he was our first guest. It was our first time having someone from overseas. He might have actually been in California at the time. I think he was in California at the time. But that was when we had our studio in my old house.
Yeah, because we probably didn't have another interview until you came to this place, right?
Maybe not, because that house, it was very echoey, and we always had Apache helicopters flying overhead and all kinds of shit, gunshots outside. It wasn't a great area.
No.
And I wasn't on a military base, by the way.
No.
Might have been living in Beirut. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it was a time to be alive. But now we have actual studio.
Yes.
And he's been on numerous times on the actual studio, and I think we always do a disservice to him. So Nicholas Obergon originally came on because I read Blue Light Yokohama. His first book, which I really enjoyed, and I actually just found him on like a Japanese noir list, and he came on the show. I might have reached out to him on Twitter. I don't even remember exactly. And he came on, and he was like, "Oh, this guy's awesome." And we talked about his book, and I don't think you read it yet, or you're reading it.
I was like halfway through.
Yeah, so probably not a great episode. And then I read Sins of Scarlet, but I'm pretty sure he came on before I read that.
Yeah.
Like the second time he came on. And then we didn't read on No Mail forever for some reason.
Yeah, it took us both forever.
And then it was really good, but we did not talk to him about that ever.
No.
Actually, we talked to him about it before we read it when he was on one of the other times. And then he was on because he hosts I don't know if it's award-winning. I'm going to say award-winning.
Should be if it's not.
I'm going to read his bio, and I think it will tell us. But that Faceless podcast, which was about some Moida. And that was, I want to say we actually listened to that before he was on talking about it.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And that was one of those times we talked to him, and then we talked to him for like, I don't know how many hours after. We always end up talking to him after
I was
going to
say, we almost end up talking to him longer after the episode than the episode was.
Like if we had a Patreon, that's the kind of content we would have on there. But he's just a fucking...
He's a good guy. Top, because we talked about this before, like, he doesn't have to give us his time of day, like, but he will, like, check in, like, with us and see how we're doing and stuff like that. He's just a good guy.
We have quite a few people now that do that, and I'm always blown away because I always feel that we are, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't say loser.
I was going to
say losers.
Unprofessional?
Oh, that's given. But I feel like, again, back to the mediocrity, everybody's unprofessional now. Like, look at the fucking president. Like, you don't have to be professional anymore. The imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
When you get these cool people who are actually published by real publishers and have award-winning works and all kinds of shit, I'm just like, you talking to us?
Well, again, and also when they come back again.
That's the
because
ticket.
Like one thing they could be like, oh well, we thought we saw this kind of it's an interesting name or whatever, we'll give them a shot, but then they put up with our shit and then want more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, yeah, listen to us talk, right?
Yeah.
You heard what we have to say about things and you still want to talk to us. Interesting. So anyway, Nicholas Obregon, for those who are unfamiliar, unawares, because he's a crime writer, and there's people who follow this podcast that don't read crime. Believe it or not.
Losers.
Whoa, they could be listening now.
And they know they're losers.
Wow, you don't even read a lot of crime. What are you talking about?
I'm working on it.
You are a half loser then. I'm drinking a lot of whiskey, folks, just so you know. So if I start getting worse, that's why. So Nicholas Obregon grew up between London and Madrid. I never could pronounce that cool. You know, like the Madrid, you know.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce Nicholas Obregon cool. Nicolas Obregon. I can't. I suck. While in Japan for his job, he learned of the unsolved Miyazawa family murders. That's on the podcast.
Yeah, that's what the podcast is about.
Yeah. Which informed his first novel, Blue Light Yokohama. It is also the focus of his universal audio true crime podcast, Faceless, a real podcast, as you will. Not like this podcast.
Yeah, an actual.
One that has like a company behind it.
It had ads.
A big company, Universal. We had ads once.
For like a half an episode?
Yeah, we had, I don't even remember what it was. It was stupid, but we did have ads, and I made 28 cents off of that. One ad.
We made 28 cents.
You motherfucker. Podcast is over. We're done. We're splitting up. The Beatles are over. You're Ringo. You want to be Ringo or George? Oh. You know what? You're the guy who got kicked out before they got famous.
No, that's more accurate. That's more like it.
The guy I never remember.
The fifth Beatle.
Obregon's short story Calibre features in the anthology Both Sides, Stories from the Border, nominated for an Anthony Award, while Blue Light Yokohama was nominated for the T. Jefferson Parker Award. I wish I had some award nominations. I was nominated for an award once.
It wasn't for writing, though, was it?
No, it was for, I don't want to talk about it. Something sticky. something smelly. All right. I hope I pronounced that right. Calibre?
I had to try to find that.
Yeah. Obregon has a new work coming out that we've been meaning to get, and we have not gotten.
Well, can we even get it?
We can get it now.
Oh, it's available now?
I hope so. No, I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if it was available here.
Here?
Like in
the
America.
United States of America?
Yeah.
It probably is for a high tariff. You have to pay a high price because of tariffs. I'm pretty sure it's available. So Nicholas Obregon's new novel, El Cicero de la Nieve. I just took some time to look that up because I saw it he had it in his story. It's the Spanish language edition, I guess. I had to look that up because like I know some Spanish and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And oh shit, now nothing but Spanish articles came up. So I had to look that up, and it was El Cicero de la Nieve, the Whisper of the Snow. And I asked him why the fuck it was named that because his novel in English is The Sugar Man. Yeah. And as you could tell, that relates nothing to The Sugar Man.
No.
But he said it was because The Sugar Man doesn't translate well into Spanish. And I did not look this up, but I'm pretty sure The Sugar Man would be El Hombre de Azúcar, the man of sugar. That sounds fucking dumb.
I mean, it is a cool sounding title, you know.
The Man of Sugar?
No, the Whispering in the Snow or whatever.
Right. So yeah, he
maybe the snow's supposed to be sugar.
Ooh, the Cocaine Man.
Yeah.
I was going to say Cocaine Bear, and that's literally a movie, and I was like, I can't create original things. I did create an original thing. In my horror group, I randomly discussed Splatterpunk. I think we talked about this fucking who knows how many episodes ago. Probably last episode. But I came up with a title for my Splatterpunk novel I'm going to write to make $1 million.
Okay.
And that is The Pimple That Pussed Piss.
Ooh.
And also, I think another one
Very
I came
illiterate.
up. Another one I came up was The Muff Moose Mangler. No, I think it was the Muff Moose Massacre. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't want to be Mangler.
That's gross.
I was thinking of that Manglin Murphy video I sent you. Look up Manglin Murphy. I don't know if you can look it up. It was a movie called Manglin Murphy. My wife left me, and then he chopped some heads, and he's mangling. Anyway, I feel bad for anybody that was excited about their work being promoted on this show. But if you haven't listened to this before, this is the regular.
This is what you get.
This is what you get. So, The Sugar Man. What's it about, Spencer?
Sugars
and a man. Dakota's world broke in two the day her best friend Flora was murdered. And Dakota has never been able to confess her own dark secret about that day. Years later, and now a detective, Dakota is struggling to hide her trauma. At a crossroads, she is taken aback to be assigned a case back in her hometown, a case that has uncanny echoes of Flora, and a connection to the same nearby Amish-like community whose faithful flock might just be hiding a murderer. Dakota's job needs her to unmask a serial killer, but her heart just needs to finally find out what happened to her best friend. And what's interesting about this that no one else knows is we had insider deets.
Mm-hmm.
Obregon told us years ago he was writing a Amish.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the fucker said he was going to come to old Pennsylvania where we live for some Amish business. I don't know what that means. And we were going to meet up with him.
Yes.
If he did, but I don't know if he did or not.
I'm going to assume that he didn't. Just for the friendship that he didn't come over, and other than that, he did come over and then he just ghosted us, didn't, I
have plenty of booze he could have drank at my house or at a bar or somewhere. Also, if you step into this side of Pennsylvania, you're immediately like, I ain't hanging out with anybody from there. And I don't blame you if you decide that. So The Sugar Man is published by Penguin, Michael Joseph. I had to look that up because it just says Michael Joseph. This is, I believe, the Amazon UK posting. And I was like, what the fuck is Michael Joseph? Because we just hear a Penguin, right?
Right.
I think he's the feller that, I don't know, a 1930s crime writer of some sorts that published lots of crime stuff, and Penguin has the name.
No.
It's interesting. Not that interesting. Nobody else cares. This is a 384-page book that we will read at some point. If this was slightly more horror adjacent, we might have did it for Halloween. But
right, yeah.
It's still crime, you know. So Obregon told me earlier today, because I was asking him, if you had any other things to promote, feel free to let me know. And he did say he has several Spain-based mysteries on the horizon, but nothing's concrete. He's just scribbling some ideas and stuff. But I thought that's fucking cool,
Yeah.
Just some Spain, because I don't know many Spanish settings in works that I've read. I mean, other than Don Quixote and what is it? For Whom the Bell Tolls.
And then those are all old stories, not anything,
Not that
modern.
There's not Spanish stories, obviously, just that I have read, but the crime stories, not too many. And he also said in the future here, he's hoping that the Spanish versions of the Wada trilogy will be out, which I thought there was some Spanish. He's always posting like the French version of stuff, and so I don't know.
That's why I wasn't sure if the Sugar Man was actually available yet over here. That's why, like, I knew it was, overseas and stuff.
Let me look it up on the Amazon US. The Sugar Man, Nicholas. It says books, but I want to actually have his name. Also, I wish I had accents over my name. I'd feel cooler if I did.
Just put a squiggly over something.
I can get the hardcover of the Sugar Man for $31.42, and it is available.
Okay.
Now, what if I want a paperback? Then I have to get El Cicero de la Nieve in paperback, and that's currently unavailable. You might have been somewhat correct, as the paperback edition is not set yet. If there's going to be one, I would like one because I like paperbacks, but I have no problem buying The Sugar Man by Nicholas Oberon.
Well, I was just thinking that because I remember the Iwata trilogy was like late coming over here.
Yeah,
and stuff. Well, you had to do it like on Kindle, to get. Couldn't get like a a hard copy.
Yeah, he publishes through. Actually, the Blue Light Yokohama had a get in Kindle. I remember because it's in. I might even got it off the Amazon UK. Ordered the Kindle off of there because the Penguin UK.
Yeah.
That's stupid that they can't be both.
Yeah.
But yeah, just release it worldwide. Now.
Do it.
Nicholas Oberon, if you're listening, you could check out now, I guess.
Yeah,
we got you. We got you here. I have, like I said, this is very out of order because the order I wanted to have some of these people in, I wasn't responded to in that order, and I just took screenshots of the information they sent me. So I'm going to have to do some searching. Oh, my dick pic, titties. My titties.
I was gonna say the dick pics aren't of yours. Like
no,
that would be silly.
That would be gross. I'm gonna cut out a lot of stuff on this episode.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do a lot of editing.
Not looking forward to that.
Well, at least it should probably be like pretty quick. Like like there's this big long chunk where nothing's being said.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's say a little late on the editing of last week's episode.
I forgot. I honestly, I just forgot about it. I was like, oh shit, because the Labor Day, it fucked me up. Because normally I do it on Mondays when I get home. And I didn't get home because I was home, so I just forgot about it.
Yeah, because I didn't think about it till I saw when it popped up like that. I was like, oh, that's later than normal.
It wasn't even a long episode.
No.
It was just fucking, I was like, oh, I forgot about it. Next up on this fine list was a past guest. I feel actually really bad about this one, legitimately bad, because we did finally read the book. David Scott Hay came on to promote his book NSFW, and we did not read it. It was short notice, I believe. I forget. It might have been Tarina Bell, who is the one I'm got the new guest booked on. I believe it was her, because he writes for Whiskey Tit. That's where his books are published, Whiskey Tit. And we had a couple other Whiskey Tit people on. And he came on the show to discuss the book that we did not read because we didn't have time yet. But then we ended up reading it and making it a book of the month. I don't know how many months later. I was like, damn, because there's so many things. I mean, even the simple thing like the character's name, because he wrote the characters as like kind of like thinking like Twitter handles. So
like message board handles.
Yeah, so like the main character through the whole episode, we discussed it. I called Sage because the way he had it spelled out, I thought it was Sage. And it was Savage. It was Doc Savage. I'm a fucking asshole. So, David Scott, hey, I am sorry that that we did not do the justice when you came on the episode. Though I thought it was a fine episode. I just don't think that I think we could have did better.
Yeah.
But anyway, he has a new book coming out. And let me just tell you this, because I can't show you now because I'll lose this picture on my phone. But the fucking covers this guy has on his books.
Yeah.
So far. So, well, I can't say that the Fountain, I think, is his first book. I don't remember what the cover that is. But the NSFW cover is like this neon. Like, it's fucking cool. Like, I told him when he was on, that needs to be a t-shirt. I would buy it.
Yeah.
That is a cool fucking cover. Well, the cover of his new book, The Butcher of Nazareth, which comes out, December, February, he might say here. Fucking badass, man. Like, it's so cool. I'm like, again, make this a t-shirt. I'm buying it. So, for those who are not aware of David Scott Hay, he lives in a valley, Spencer. A valley between the mountains. He's a mountain man. No, he's a valley man. Yeah. That's the opposite of a mountain man. When you're living in a crest, that's a different kind of living.
Living down in the hollow, right?
Yeah, I get it. What's the difference between a hollow and a valley?
I think maybe
trees.
Yeah.
So anyway, David Scott Hay lives in a valley between the mountains, desert, and ocean with his wife, son, dog, and a dozen typewriters. You can check him out at davidscotthey.com for more information.
That's a lot of typewriters.
Yeah. I wish he would have sent a cooler bio just for the fact that when he was on, I'm pretty sure we talked about like some Netflix shows he worked on and stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously his books, he's written some books now. And if they're not, like if NSFW wasn't up for some kind of award, I think it would be, because that was a very unique book. But anyway, his new book, The Butcher of Nazareth, it's a literary horror, Spencer. Literary horror.
So you might like it.
Sure. And it's under, which I did not know, but now I know what we need to submit to if we ever have a horror book come out, is Headless, which is a Whiskey Tit horror imprint.
Oh.
Actually, I did kind of hear about this, and he did not send me this, which I wish he would when I asked him about promoting stuff. I remember him posting, actually, I'm just going to go to his profile and look it up. He was posting like a new horror magazine that I think he was, if not the editor on, he was working on in some capacity. So let me look at him. So he had an announcement back in May 1st. So with Whiskey Tit, he started a horror imprint. Our first offering on Headless, so that is the imprint, that's what he was doing, is an album-style anthology with a banger list of scribes, and he has a bunch of people. So it was like an album-inspired anthology, and like, again, the cover's very cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, damn, I wish I would have known about that. I would have fucking submitted something if I had something. But, yeah, so Headless is the actual imprint, which is really cool. And I did not know he was completely involved in that. But let me see if I can... Oh, ball sacks. Ball sacks. Boo hiss. Ballyhoo. Jism and cum.
Oh, wow.
How is it possible that there's no cover on here when I seen him post the cover 400 fucking times?
Oh, gone. Deleted them all.
In fact, he literally has the book for sale at the Whiskey Tit booth, even though it's not out yet. Well, you could kind of see the...
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool looking.
Yeah. If you folks want to see the cover of this book, The Butcher of Nazareth, and the other cover, NSFW, go to david.scott.hay.official on Instagram. And you know he's official because it says official. So what is The Butcher of Nazareth about, Spencer?
Butchering?
I hope. If there's no butchering, I'm not reading. Haunting visions drive a grieving butcher to hunt down an obese that goes with our cold open. Was it our cold open? No, I think it was just how we opened the episode talking about when I was down in Florida. Damn, that's cold open talk. That's not beginning introduction of the show talk, but we did talk about people of a bigger persuasion.
Girth challenged.
Girth challenge. So haunting visions drive a grieving butcher to hunt down an obese pre-ministry Jesus to prevent an apocalyptic age of bloodshed brought on by his followers. But when the butcher adopts a dead newborn, his hunt for the son of Nazareth takes a personal and horrific turn. How does one choose between personal redemption and worldwide salvation? First off, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, does he keep the baby?
I often think about writing in various terms, and one of them is imagination.
Mm-hmm.
You think, oh yeah, all writers have imagination? No.
We know.
You could be a great writer, but not have a great imagination. Think of a Hemingway, a Fitzgerald. These people weren't having these stories where all this crazy shit, like they're just, real life literary writers. David Scott Hay, while having a literary style of writing, comes up with some fucking out there ideas. Like, because The Fountain was a really cool idea too.
I remember when we were talking about that, and after you got on, I was like, oh man, we got to check that out too.
Yeah, folks, look that up because I don't want to butcher it. Yeah, no pun intended. I don't want to butcher the synopsis of that by just half remembering it. But like NSFW was so fucking unique, and then I'm thinking The Butcher Nazareth, just the plot sounds crazy. Yeah. So I can't wait to read that one. I told him that. I was like, dude, when I can get my hands on this book, we're doing it. Like, I am very excited for that one. Yeah, and again, just the cover is really cool. But Dave Scott Hay has I can't really judge because I only read his NSFW, his second book, and the short story that he was in. I forget the title of it, but it was in Starlight Pulp 5.
Yeah. Because that's how you found out.
Yeah, he's the one who recommended I submit to Starlight Pulp, and I got the 5th issue that he was in to read it. Mainly, honestly, just to read his story, but I ended up liking all the stories, obviously. But I read his story, and one thing that really I thought was interesting, because like in NSFW at the end, he has like a sci-fi story that's kind of it's like a character in the book is writing this story, and then you actually get or maybe it's like his dad's story. Like, this is a sci-fi story mentioned in the book, and then David Scott Hay has the first chapter of that sci-fi book as like a prologue kind of deal. And when I read that, I was like, oh, this guy could write a lot of different styles, which I always appreciate. Like, I like when writers not just experimental, but it's like, oh, they're not hooked to just one style. Like, they can actually expand and do different things, and it makes it less boring.
Yeah.
No offense to certain writers, but like, say we go back to Stephen King. You read 10 Stephen King books in a row, you're like, all right, I'm a little bored now. It's like Stephen King, I get it. But when a writer can really write in a completely different style, you're going to get, like, even like a Cormac McCarthy, you can get one book that's like, Jesus, that's crazy and hard to read. And then you read the next book, like the Blood Meridian and the Road.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, that's 100% different. Moving on. So we had him as a guest way back in, I want to say, was it before or after David Scott Hay? We had Tyler C. Gore on. He talked about his, it was an essay collection. I think he was Saggy Meniscus.
Yes.
So Tyler C. Gore is the author of My Life of Crime, Essays and Other Entertainments, which the Washington Independent Review of Books called immensely readable, full of the people and peculiarities of New York, and told with an almost wide-eyed wonder of someone in love with the place, even the worst of it. And when we had him on, I read, I think, like 3 chapters of it, because it was, again, another deal. Like, it got sent to us like a week. We had him on very quickly after I got the confirmation email and stuff, so I didn't read the whole book, but we watched him do a reading, not a press junket. What do they call that? A reading?
Just like, it was just
like an open reading.
Yeah, like a bookstore or something.
Book signing, book reading kind of deal. And he was immensely funny.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, damn, this is something we have to fucking check out. Again, it's weird because we usually don't have nonfiction guys on, even though, like, not fiction, like a Hunter S. Thompson, embellished.
Yes.
So, real stories, but told in a humorous, embellished way. With
some flair on it.
Some flair. I like that. Flair. My Life of Crime was also a First Horizon Award finalist, shortlisted for the Eric Hoffer Book Award Grand Prize, and appeared in the Independent Book Review's list of impressive indie books of 2022. Tyler has been cited 5 times as a notable essayist by the Best American Essays, and currently serves on the editorial boards of Exacting Clam and Stat-O-Rec. Now, I always thought that, I could probably write essays. But then when I read some of his stuff, I was like, no,
Yeah.
I cannot write essays, not to that quality. And if I'm not going to be able to stand up to such quality, I'm not going to do it. Just not a waste of, it's a waste of time, I think. So, My Life of Crime essays and other entertainments for the folks who don't feel like looking it up. The official synopsis: an awkward visit to a nude beach. That's a great opening.
Yeah.
A bike. What if you went to a nude beach on accident?
I mean, I think that's happened.
But do you just continue with your beaching, or do you just leave?
Yeah, because I think even some of them are like optional.
But what if it wasn't?
Well, I mean, I guess then you would have to leave unless you're gonna drop dick.
You gonna sling hog?
Yeah.
Drop dick. My dick's not dropping.
Yeah.
On a beach, the slight breeze, the salt air hitting it. It's a snail. It's not. It's not dropping anything.
It's probably hot.
An awkward visit to a nude beach, a bike pedaling angel careening through rush hour traffic, the mystery of a sandwich found in a bathroom stall, a lyric rainy day ramble through the East Village, with the personal essays and 3 other entertainments in this debut collection. Tyler C. Gore reveals the artistic secrets of his life of crime, a charming wit, compassionate observation, perfection of style, and overall, a whimsically, I never read whimsically colorful, light tinged with just enough to spare. Whether stewing over a subway encounter with a deranged businessman, confessing the sordid past as a prankster, or recounting his family's history of hoarding, Gore is by turns melancholy, profound, and hilarious. The collection culminates with the novella-length essay Appendix, a twisted, sprawling account of routine surgery that grapples with evolution, mortality, strangely attractive doctors, simulated universes, and an anorexic cat.
Ooh.
There's a lot going on there. So that was, again, what was that? What I said, 2022 that came out.
That doesn't seem that long.
I know, we're getting fucking old, man. Time goes by so fast because we don't have any new things happening to us. We're just stuck in a routine rut that just wheels by, careening. I can see that's how the word careening, so I'm going to steal that and say careening by like a train, freighter, nonstop, down a one-way track to death. That's us.
Yes.
That's fine. So if you want to check out that book, saggymeniscus.com, catalog, My Life of Crime. And you can also go to tylergore.com. He's on Threads at Tyler Must Wash Hands. He's also, I believe, on Instagram at that name where I follow him. He's on Blue Sky and Facebook. Again, just look up Tyler C. Gore. You'll find the feller. He's around town washing his hands, or not. I don't know. I've seen some dingy bathrooms he's posted pictures of in New York, and I don't know if you're going to want to wash your hands in those bathrooms.
Probably like dirtier after washing your hands in the bathroom than just taking a shit.
You turn it on and literal cockroaches just fall out. It's like that time I went to get gas at a very disreputable gas station, and it was very oily, I want to say the handle was, and I was like, ew, but they had like the hand sanitizing thing. I was like, all right, I pumped it, and fucking spiders fell into my hand. Just a shitload of spiders. I was like, ew. It was terrible. So that's the thing that happened to me, and I would want to wash my hands if I was in one of these New York nightclub bathrooms. I don't think he's going to nightclubs, but wherever he is in New York, I don't know. I don't live there. All right, Spencer, where are we going next?
I don't know.
Who do you want to go next?
Do we got a...
I know who we're going to go
right.
next. I'm going to go through this list. Not that this is an order of importance or anything, or in order of people that we like more than others. I'm just putting this in order of random things, but mainly because this next one we're actually doing a book. Not book of the month, probably. I don't know, because it's going to be the beginning of the month. A.D. Jones.
Yes.
He has a new short story collection coming out, which we're going to read and we're going to cover. And his, as far as I remember, comes out October 1st. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, I know it. You feel it?
That's what you told me before.
I told you the 1st. So that's cemented that we have to have the episode out around the 1st. You just said 4th. You fuck. You fucking dirty dog.
First.
The 1st. I guess I should tell the folks who A.D. Jones is. He was on the show as well. That was an interesting one because we were supposed to talk to maybe an Irish lady.
I think it was the Irish lady.
So we had an episode scheduled. I don't remember her name, and she never ended up coming back on. But there was a problem. I think it was maybe the old shitty Chromebook, or it was the new laptop I got for the meetings. And I didn't know how to work it yet or something.
Something like that. It was like something with the volume wasn't
She was
working.
muted.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to unmute it at the time.
And then we figured it out 5 minutes later, and she was at the pub already.
It only took 5 minutes, and she bailed and went to the pub immediately. And I messaged her, was like, "Oh, hey, we got it working." And she's like, "I'm already at the pub." I was like, you live in the pub? How the fuck did you get there so quick? And she wanted to reschedule, and then I set something up, and she did not reschedule, and we never had her on. But anyway, I ended up going on the horror group, and I was like, "Hey, anybody want to come on? We got time." And mainly because I wanted to test out the laptop and shit. And A.D. Jones was available, and we discussed his book. I think was it Sacrificial Waters or Umbrate? Sacrificial Waters. I think Umbrate's his first book.
Yeah.
I think I flubbed that on the episode as well. But anyway, last year we had as book of the month for October. Maybe not book of the month. I think it was book of the month. Or something. We did a few.
Yeah.
A bonus book of the month. We did his.
Here's one of the stories where we talked about because he was in the adverse
Violent Advents.
Yeah, that collection. You guys both had a story, so I know we talked about his story in that too.
Yeah. Anyway, we talked about last year. Born of Bloodshed was his novella.
Oh, okay.
It's about the gnomes.
Yes.
That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
I don't remember what his story was in Violent Advents.
It was like, wasn't that the
Christmas Farm?
Yeah,
Murder.
with the trees and
Serial
stuff.
killer.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Yeah, that seems all right.
There's a lot of Christmas trees in that story because in just that book collection, in the anthology collection, because every story had to be centered around a tree in some capacity, including mine, which I did not have an actual tree in because I'm an asshole. I had a painting of a tree. A.D. Jones lives in the north of England. Spencer.
You don't say.
I just make sure you're paying attention. You're over there flicking your bean and all that stuff, and I don't. A.D. Jones lives in the north of England, where he spends his time favoring books over people and can be found writing or devouring said books to review online. That's another thing. He does a lot of book reviews on his Instagram, if you ever want to look at those. Sometimes I find some cool stuff just because he's reviewed them. So just so you know, A.D., I do pay attention to those things. Sometimes. Not often, because a lot of times I'm just not online. I feel bad in my horror group, because a lot of times I'll just dump things, like I'll talk about butt stuff or something, and everyone starts talking about it, and I just dip out, because I got shit to do. I can't.
You set that grenade there and let it. You don't stay for the explosion.
Yeah, I don't stay for the fireworks. He loves Coca-Cola, Twin Peaks, all things horror, and cult movies. He dislikes the movie The Karate Kid with a passion that burns brighter than the sun. I don't remember if we did not talk to him about that, but I would like to know.
And to see how he feels about the show.
I would imagine he didn't watch it if he hates the Karate Kid.
Right.
Does that include the Jackie Chan Karate Kid?
Oh, what about that's the one he likes?
I would hope not. His debut novel, Umbrate, was released in October 2023 to positive feedback, as were his following 2024 releases, Sacrificial Waters and Born of Bloodshed. His latest novel, Little Horn, was released in April 2025. He has a lot of Goodreads reviews that it seems that he has amassed a following on there.
Good.
I think so. I always see it's like, oh, another A.D. Jones. When he releases, I was the first one to pick it up. I always see things like that. Like people were very excited for his work. Oh, he has a very, at least from what I've read, it seems to be a fast-paced, action-y horror style that I think a lot of people dig. So what is his newest collection about Spencer?
Murder.
Again? Murder? No way. His new collection, Deathbed Confessionals, also has a fucking cool-ass cover.
Yeah.
The color, because there's a lot of covers coming up. I wish I could show people if we were a video podcast. Maybe I would. It's a fucking cool cover, so I forget what his handle on Instagram, I think, is like the Ever-Growing Library. So if you folks check that out, the cover of his book is really cool. Deathbed Confessionals. Here's the official synopsis. Still reeling from the murder of his friend and colleague, a man receives a mysterious caller in the dead of night. A failing author's pact for fame and fortune slowly begins to unravel the world around him. Two women struggle as they find themselves wrapped up in a man's twisted, high-stakes version of The Bachelor. These are just a few of the delights ahead as you journey through 15 tales that promise to entice, shock, and terrify. Deathbed Confessionals brings your horrors incarnate, delivered in bite-sized, easily digestible frights. That's what I like, the digestible part. Now, I know there's a werewolf story in there, so digestible. I asked him if there's any story specifically that we can spoil, because we're going to cover the collection on the on an episode, but since it's going to be right when it's released, I'm not going to spoil everything.
Yeah.
So he gave me a handful of stories, and we could pick one.
Okay, cool.
That way we could be like, hey, here's the whole. A couple of them are in collections, so I think we've already read them.
Okay.
So I would prefer not to do one of those because we might accidentally talked about it. Well, not accidentally, but might have talked about it in passing over the years we've done this fucking wonderful podcast. Like I said, this is released October 1st. Gonna read it. Gonna like it.
Yeah.
Gonna read it and like it.
We're gonna definitely read it. Hopefully we'll like it.
Next up, Stephen King's got a new book, and his press secretary lady sent me.
Must have been before she found out about your disdain for
that was
his
bad
Pet
timing.
Cemetery.
That was bad timing. You know what? We'll just skip it. Yeah, and maybe I'll cut this out if I remember. I remember talking about it. Not good. So just as equally as good as Stephen King, that's a thing I shouldn't put on anybody's head. That's fucked
That's
up.
hard.
Hey, this guy's even better than Stephen King. Yeah, you're living up to hype. I'm sorry. Hayden Robinson. He's down there in Atlanta, Georgia, but he has a very British accent. Confuses me, but I'm assuming he is from the UK. Maybe when I read his bio here, I will be able to ascertain that. He's been promoting this, and also cool cover. It's a face with more faces screaming.
Oh.
And he went and did a cool thing where he got a bunch of people to submit their screams. So it was like pictures of them screaming.
Oh.
And I think he stylized it and stuff. So I don't know if those are presented in the collection as like for each story. I don't remember, but very cool. Very cool that he did that. Because then you get like readers, like, or people that are just like, I want to read this just because I'm in it.
Yeah.
You feed on people's egos a little. It's like, hey, your picture's in this. So very cool.
Honestly, if you ever got in it, and it'd be like, you'd have to, instead of doing a picture, you screaming, it has to be your cat Nova when she does one of her big yawns.
Yeah. Very frightening. But Hayden, he's been in a bunch of things I've been in over the years here. Mainly like the horoscope stuff, I think. And I'm sure there's like the Violent Advents and basically that whole group. We've been all in a bunch of different things together. But he's always like posting his writing and stuff in the group chat, which I appreciate because, it's fun to, discuss different writing, and not everyone's comfortable doing that, so I'm glad he is. But Hayden Robinson, him, is an autistic British writer. British, but again, living in Georgia. I don't know if he wants me to put that out there. Because I wouldn't be too excited to say I'm living in Georgia.
Georgia?
Not these days.
Georgia.
I don't know. I can't say. I've only been through Georgia once, and it was nice. Everyone was very friendly at the gas station.
I mean, like, Atlanta's kind of bad, right? But isn't, like, the rest of it, like...
I think that's where he lives is in Atlanta.
Oh, well.
He mainly writes horror stories and poetry. His themes often focus on overcoming trauma and neurodivergent characters. And I know he has had quite a few things published in like neurodivergent magazines and stuff, I believe, or anthologies, different publications dealing with autism.
Like, I was going to say, was that I wasn't exactly sure when like neurodivergent, like what kind of...
Yeah, like just autistic and things like that. His work has appeared in various publications, including Horoscope Volumes 3 and 4, Halloween Remains. That was the other one. Because Siren's Call.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was in that as well. Actually, I was in the same issue as him, I believe, in that. Because I remember we all shared our stories in the group. Like, hey, I was in this too. And, sometimes we get into things and we don't realize the other people, which is always fun. He's in Violent Advents, a Christmas horror anthology, and Handle Magazine, HNDL, Handle Magazine. His short story collection, Inside Your Screams, Stories of Restless Terror, is set to be released in October 2025. His debut novel, Plaything, is set to be released in July 2026. He currently lives in Decatur, Georgia, so not Atlanta. Maybe a suburb of Atlanta, maybe nowhere near Atlanta. I don't know. With his wife, their dog, and their 2 cats. I was thinking about covering Inside Your Screams for the thing, but... we don't have time to do all this stuff for October. That's the problem. And then now with guests and stuff maybe coming on November, that's kind of going to push us back. But maybe his debut novel will be something we can cover because that comes out next year.
Yeah, it's not until like July. So
yeah, and also I don't like to do multiple short story collections, especially in 1 month as like books of the months and stuff. Because last year we did L. Stevenson's his short story collection too, and it's just like we do that a lot because it's easier. But at the same time, I feel like it's not necessarily fair to the author if they have books out as well. It's like we're not reading your whole book, but we'll read some of your stories. So Inside of Your Scream, Stories of Restless Terror. What's it about? 20 Vente. 20 frightening stories that fill the soul with fear. Not your heart, not your brain, your soul. That's a different thing to fill with fear, Spencer. From vengeful witches twisting the body to card games with a dead grandparent, these are tales that will leave you screaming into the night. Now, I haven't read a lot of Hayden's work, but the stories I have read, he does seem to touch on, I don't want to just say like grief, but like kind of like the feel, not necessarily like the horror elements, more of like the feelings and emotions that come with like, somebody dying,
like the stages.
Yeah, so he has a very interesting writing style in that regard, whereas it's not just typical horror, at least from what I've read. You get a lot of different elements that seem to touch in a different perspective, and I don't know if that's just because like he's autistic and he sees things differently than we do, but that's one of those things where it's like I enjoy being able to go into a story and be like, oh, this is not how I thought the story was going to turn out, because he incorporated different elements into his work that I wouldn't think of, or maybe I wouldn't be able to touch on because I am not autistic. Next up on this list, and this is only because it's in order now.
Okay.
Because I'm really jumping all through my gallery and I'm getting weird cat pictures and deer pictures and stuff, animals. So we're moving on to Amber Hathaway, which I didn't realize I wasn't following, even though I've talked to her in the group chats before. I didn't realize I wasn't following her on Instagram until today when she messaged me about because she saw my post in the horror group.
Okay.
So I was like, what the fuck? So I rectified that, obviously. So Amber Hathaway, her, is an autistic horror and dark fiction writer. She is the author of the Little White Flower series, and her short stories have appeared in multiple anthologies. She holds a PhD in physics, well, goddamn, she's smart pants, from the University of Maine, among other degrees. I knew it. I saw a picture of her when I followed her today. She was on a bog, and I was like, I think I was on that bog when I was in Maine, and I believe I was on that, because I haven't visited many bogs, bog boardwalks in my life, and I was like, that looks very... as familiar as a boardwalk bog can look. I was like, that looks very familiar, but I didn't want to say anything because what if I'm wrong?
You're right.
What if it's a completely different bog and I'm an asshole because I don't remember exactly where that bog was located?
That was the bog down the street, you idiot.
If I remember correctly, we just pulled off on the side of the road because we saw a sign for a bog or something. And I was like, hey, here's a bog. And we went because I wanted to visit a bog.
Too bad you didn't have any bodies.
The bog?
The one time you didn't have a
body to dump in the bog?
The one time you didn't have a body in the trunk.
I was on vacation. She holds a PhD in physics from the University of Maine, among other degrees. When not writing or reading, she enjoys a wide range of hobbies and interests, including crafting, cosplaying, and Pokemon Go. She lives in Central Maine with her equally eccentric partner, Brian Toner. I read her stories in Horoscope, but I do not believe I've read any of her standalone works. I don't remember if the Little White Flowers is her first, like, a debut book, but it's hard because, like, a lot of people post, like, oh, again, I wasn't following her, but a lot of people post in, like, the groups, oh, here's a short story collection I have, or here's some work I have, or I'm featured in this, and I could never keep up. Because, again, I'm just, like, busy all the time. I'm never, like, I pop in and out of the group chat, but sometimes it, like, fucking scrolls so goddamn long, I can't, I just have to skip stuff.
Well, I could imagine it's probably just, like, a group text on steroids.
Yeah, basically, because there's a lot of people. Well, some people have dropped out over the years, so that's actually not too bad because then it's like, oh, good. Yeah. Less people to fucking, talk about stuff. So anyway, Spencer, do you want to know what the book's about?
I do.
Wow, I can't believe it. Little White Flowers. When she and her brother venture to Evanston, Maine, to clean out an estranged relative's estate, horror enthusiast Alice Drayden's life begins paralleling her favorite page-turners. The sojourn in their grandmother's wicked hometown provides the perfect opportunity for Alice to delve into Grammy's mysterious past. However, she soon discovers that the horrific event that drove Grammy away is but one small piece of the town's blighted history. Confronted with increasing hostility from Evanston's insular religious community, as she closes in on the truth, Alice must risk everything to save lives. Her soft-spoken new neighbor, Riley Moore, seems to have answers and some dark secrets of his own. Can Alice trust him to help her put an end to Evanston's insidious practices, or will she become yet another casualty? This is published in paperback and ebook as of July 1st, 2025. Also, very cool cover. Wait a minute. Hardcover comes out October 7th.
Okay.
I thought I was a fucking moron, and I was like, wait a minute. Did I read the date wrong? I did not. That is published by Deadly Seeds Press.
That just shows you the difference between, like, indie publishing and like mainstream publishing, because normally it's the other way around. Normally
Hardbook comes out
it's
first.
hardback, and then you go into
As
the
an indie
soft
publisher, hardback's more expensive.
Oh yeah.
So it's usually better, I think, to do the softback and ebook. Usually it's ebook, if anything. Next up, a writer we've actually talked to in person multiple times.
Oh yeah.
Can you believe it?
No.
Stevie Hostler from the book club.
Stevie.
She has a book on the way, and man, has she managed to blow this thing up in a good way. She's fucking had a Kickstarter and fucking got all her goals. I got to watch her start the indie process of having your first book from like begin, because I remember her talking about, like, I think she was writing it by hand in a notebook or something. I remember her coming to book club talking about the book, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then seeing it come to fruition in that time period makes me feel not only like a crumb bum,
Yes,
but also very excited for her, because that's big news. Like, a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to write a fucking book, especially a good book.
Well, yeah, because I mean, just even like us, we've just all been doing short stories, longer short stories. We tried to maybe dabble with a novella every once in a while, but yeah, to do an actual full-blown novel, it's not a easy task.
No, and I believe this is a part of a series, so again, that's a lot of world building. YA fantasy is always a lot of world building and character development. You have character Bibles, you have all that shit. And I cannot be arsed. It takes from my British fellas. I cannot be arsed to do all that. I just like to submit my work to places and have them do all the fucking legwork. Give me money and publish my shit. And
fix it for me.
Yeah, and fix it for me. So, for those unaware, Stevie Hostler is a fantasy author, and Shadow of Lilith is her debut novel. Her life is ruled by coffee, cats, emo, and pop-punk music, and convincing herself that buying books and reading books are separate hobbies. I agree.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh, yeah.
I have lots of books.
Yeah.
More unread than read, I think. And I read a lot.
Right, yeah. You get close to almost like 100 books a year almost, right? Like 50, at least 50 normally.
50 to 100, yeah. Stevie lives in Pittsburgh with her fated mate, offspring, and 4 animal familiars. I would say that I buy more books a month than I can ever read, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Because I'm a fucking degenerate. Even when I'm like, oh, I haven't bought a lot of books now, and then it's been 3 months, and then we go somewhere and I buy 10 books. So it's like, yeah, well, that put me in the... It's like I would imagine someone who's on a diet and they're doing very well, and then they go on like a 3-day bender of eating horrible foods. It's like, yeah, I just completely undo it.
You just wake up under a pile of paperbacks like, what happened, Mindy? What happened? Like, you came in here drunk off of books, you asshole. Smelling like old pages.
This one, we have a blurb from the book.
Oh.
All right, sir. Do I have an actual synopsis too?
Let's say real quick, is Stevie's Kickstarter over?
Yeah, I think I'm assuming it's over.
I thought it would, because we talked about it a while ago, like off, but I was just going to say if it was something that was still going.
As far as I'm aware, she grossly exceeded her goals.
Yeah, that's what I thought when we talked about it before. But
so she has a book blurb here. Because I said, like, with the character Bible kind of stuff, she has, like, the first person, which is how she promotes the book a lot, is, like, that people actually get attached to the characters. So you get, like, the perspective of the characters with her posts and stuff a lot. So my name is Piper Gorecki. I might be misspelling that or mispronouncing that. My name is Piper Gorecki, heir of House Gorecki, Devana, blessed and chosen leader of all vampire hunters. This is my hunt. I might be also mispronouncing Devana, Devana, Devana. It's like I thought that was like a magic system in here. Red. All I see is red. I can't stop seeing it. Every time I close my eyes, it greets me, eager to send me into a spiral of nightmares. Blood sprayed across the cabin's walls, and the revolting squish of gore beneath my boots will forever haunt me. I can still hear the anguished screams of the ones who could not save, the ones whose screams will now and forever go unheard. There's something different with the vampire covens lately. Their bloodlust is growing out of control. My partner, Adam, and I have had far too many close calls with ancient vampires over the past few months. Yet the collective council of elders doesn't seem concerned. I don't trust them. They're hiding something from the hunters, but I am also hiding something from them. The sickly, sweet stench of death and decay clings to me. I've been touched by it too many times. I can't escape it. Death stalks my sleep, and so does he. If you're interested in checking out this book, you can go on over to her website, steviehostlerwrites.com. There's different information, character profiles and whatnot. So you got a lot of different like tropes in this. You have the secret society, magical realism, paganism's probably like a big thing here. Slavic mythology, which I think was I don't know. Again, I'm not a big YA fantasy reader.
Right.
And like, I would say dark fantasy. So I don't know how much like Slavic stuff. 'Cause I was thinking like the Witcher stuff. Like, isn't that like Germanic or something like that?
Probably.
I think it was a German book. So.
Yeah, so probably.
So I'm not necessarily sure how popular that stuff is, but like the Slavic mythology, I have not come across a lot of books, at least in my personal reading like that. So that interests me. We're going to get a lot of like Buffy the Vampire kind of vibes here. But again, with the Slavic mythology and I would say some like queer normative vibes going on. Some positive things, from the post I've seen. I would say that if you're into that side of the lit space, you'll really enjoy this work. And if you just want a good vampire story, you might be into this as well. It doesn't have to just be because of fantasy related things. So yeah, check out Stevie Hostler's book, Shadow Lilith. That will be dropping, did I say when that drops? November 11th.
Oh, that's soon.
Like I said, she's been promoting for almost a year now, 6 months, something like that. So yeah, then that's published by Stevie Hostler Writes, LLC. Thought about getting an LLC for this, but I don't want to spend money.
More money.
More money. I just forked over fucking $20 for the domain name. Don't even use anymore. What else did I fork money over for? Something.
Didn't was it the Podbean thing that I remember you telling me something just automatically renewed without even telling you about it.
The WordPress. The website. The domain. Just the domain. You still have to pay $20 even though we don't. I mean, if we wanted to, I can still run the website, but like, it's not going to have any cool shit on it like it did.
No.
Unless I spend whatever the fuck it costs for that. Next up, and I apologize ahead of time because I only know the pronunciation of his name because he was in the Starlight Pulp podcast I was in, the Pulpcast. But he's a German feller. And Brian from Pulpcast and from Starlight said his name and asked him if he pronounced it right. And this guy said, sure.
It's close. I mean,
so I'm going to pronounce it that way, and it's probably wrong. Michael Wegener.
Yeah.
I'm not a German.
You're not?
No, I am not a German. Believe it or not, I am not a German. So
Frenchman.
Ooh, don't even see. I actually have 0% French in my blood. I know that for a fact. I've been DNA tested multiple times.
Yeah, it's mostly Cro-Magnon DNA, right?
Neanderthal.
Yeah, you were like, what, like 57%?
It moved up. It's a lot. So Michael is, and you're not going to be shocked by this because we've had architects, we've had archaeologists, I'm just going alphabetical order. We've had what's a B? Biologists. Yeah. We've had a lot. I think we actually did have a biologist on. We've had a lot of high and reputable people on the podcast or mentioned on the podcast. Michael has not been on the podcast, but he has been in work I've been featured in, Starlight Pulp 6. He had a story in there, which was really good. I really liked his story. That's the one with the black ooze monster.
Yeah.
It starts off as like a classic bootleg story. I wish I fucking remember the names of shit. I don't. I'm old. But it was like a classic bootleg story, and it was really engaging. And then it just goes into like this weird horror that's like, I like this. So if you folks want to check that out, get Starlight Pulp 6. Also read my story in it. Michael is a chemist.
Oh, wow.
So he's a smarty pants again. And a lot of smarty pants on this podcast. Michael is a chemist, consultant, and medical writer. His short fiction has appeared in Mickey Finn Volume 3, 21st Century Noir, edited by Michael Bracken, Unnerving Magazine, and the Starlight Pulp Review. Upcoming publications include stories in the Snafu Anthology series, Mickey Finn Volume 6, and Schlock Webzine. He lives in Brunswick, Germany. So he's promoting Snafu. His most recent publication, I guess. Snafu Contagion, featuring action-filled tales of viral, fungal, and bacterial horror from some of your favorite authors, including New York Times bestselling author Jonathan Maberry, Maberry. He's not on the show, so we don't have to get his name right.
No.
Whether it be mutated cordyceps, some zombie plague, a bioweapon accidentally released, or a previously unheard of alien viral epidemic, the soldiers who fight must find some way to overcome the contagion. And then obviously Starlight 6. So yeah, that is interesting stuff. I really enjoyed. I only read his one story, but I really enjoyed his style. And just from talking to him, he seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah, he was pretty interesting on the podcast.
Yeah. And the fact that he's German but decided to write in English, if you folks want to hear more about that in the Pulpcast, I wish I remembered again. I don't remember shit. Also drinking a lot.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name. Do you remember the episode? It was Round Table, but which one? 6?
Yeah,
I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, I think it was just,
because it's issue 6.
Yeah.
Pulpcast Round Table 6. I'm featured in that as well. Someone asked him about writing in English and why he doesn't write in German, like his fiction. And he has a really cool explanation for that. And I was like, ooh, that makes a lot of sense. Next up, we have Shane Joaquin Jimenez. I might be mispronouncing his name. I never note the J's when it's Spanish sounding. I'm like, is it actually Spanish? Or are you like an American who just pronounces it Jimenez, like some kind of cave-dwelling troglodyte? Not saying that Shane is a cave-dwelling troglodyte. I'm just saying that I've come across some people that they pronounce their Spanish name with just an American English J. And I'm like, that's not right. Shane is another person I only met recently, and that was because he's also in Starlight 6. He had a really cool story in that as well.
Not from just the name, I can't remember. Too bad there's not a copy down here you could just look at.
But yeah, he had a really cool story in Starlight Pulp 6. Again, I was in that as well. I just feel happy that I'm with all these cool writers.
Right.
Makes me feel like I'm not a hunk of shit. Yes. So he was also, I don't remember what it was from, but he sent me, because I had my boxing story in Starlight Pulp, he actually wrote a boxing story that was published online, and I believe it was called Ultimate Warriors, which also mixed in some like wrestling stuff, I believe.
Okay.
And it actually did not have the fight. It was a character story, like a character piece that leads up to the fight. So well written. I really, really enjoyed it. And folks recommend you check that out if you can find it. So who is Shane? Do you know? You don't know because you only read his story, but you did not read up on the man.
No.
But I have because I got this author bio. Shane Joaquin Jimenez is the author of the noir thriller novel Bondage, which came out last year. His stories have appeared in the Cincinnati Review, Starlight Pulp Review, Shotgun Honey, I like that name, Punk Noir Magazine. I also wanted to get submitted something there, get published by Punk Noir Magazine. Sounds cool. And elsewhere. Originally from Las Vegas, he now lives in British Columbia. So he said, fuck you, United States. I am out. And he moved to a civilized country.
And so you can't really blame him.
Yeah, just from talking to him, he was a very nice guy. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I would probably move to Canada too if I was him. If I had the option.
Wait, you want free health care?
I just want to fucking not suffer.
Fucking decent human rights for people?
That'd be all right.
Asshole.
He recently had a story called Extinction Studies in the Cincinnati Review.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
A teenager struggling in the aftermath of a mass shooting finds light through B-movies and a vampire Elvis TV host named Count Cool Rider, which was a real monster movie host in Las Vegas that Shane watched in the 90s. And he has a post that he put links on here. I can't put links on a podcast, so if you want to check it out, Extinction Studies, Shane Joaquin Jimenez, and the Cincinnati Review, you can look it up. And I guess you can read that for free. I think he's published a few things from the Cincinnati Review, it seems. He also has Love at First Fright, a late-night watch list, a guide to the best Count Cool Rider had to offer. That's also the Cincinnati Review. I'm just an idiot again. The link below. Screenshots are bad. So you can check out Shane's work there, and is that it? Is that all we got here? Yeah. Next up, he did not send me any information.
So we're doing this against his will.
We're doing it against his will, which that's not cool. We're doing it against his will because he's been such a cool guy. Not only has he put together things that I've been in, and he's helped us out with just, different, he put together the Halloween Remains, the Violent Advents. But we also covered his collection When Strange Things Bite. I think that was last year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give any information because I don't know how much he wants to give out, but there is a new edition of the book with the different cover, which I think is a cooler cover. I like that cover a lot more. I'm going to call him Louis Legend. L. Stevenson, he, if you listen to this podcast, I'm sure other than doing the episodes with them or, about him, we've actually discussed him. We need to have him on the show probably.
Yeah, I was just thinking that we should probably have him on.
Yeah, that would make sense because he does a lot of cool work. He's just a really cool guy. But I just want to give him a shout out, even though he's not actually promoting anything currently. But he does have some cool stuff that's going to be coming out soon. I know for a fact because I talked to him about it. So keep an eye out for that. You can check him out at L L._Stevenson. Don't do the L. and the _. Louis, what are you doing? That's too much. People are going to mess it up. I bet if you look up L. Stevenson, it comes up.
Right.
But he has a lot of stuff, and we're going to try to fit in his, I believe it was his first novel, The Bookmore Butcher. We're going to try to get that read by the end of October and discuss that. Even so, we'll at least read it by, talk about it in November if the latest. But I think he's going to send us some copies of that, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I like getting sent stuff. Makes me feel like I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Joe Magazine sent me a key ring in the mail.
Oh.
Did not pay for that key ring. They're sending it to me because I'm cool.
Good thing you have
chill.
Good thing you have so many keys to put on it.
Yeah. And to end this extraordinarily, if not excruciatingly long episode that I don't want to edit, I will say the person who's made this all happen, at least for me, publishing wise, Harriet Everand. Because she gave me a shot. She got my first print publication, which was Horoscope Volume 3. I was publishing a few things before that, but not print. And that really got my confidence up, and I ended up getting in Horoscope 4, and then a whole bunch of different things. I'm also in, she runs January Ember Press, and I got into I'm in the Leo collection just because my story was a Leo story from my horoscope, but I'm also in the Virgo collection coming out. That's a new work.
She was also my first exception. It wasn't my first thing that actually made it to print, but it was the first thing that I ever got accepted.
Yeah, that was your first acceptance, and I don't think she realizes, but that means a lot to inspiring writers, aspiring writers that they have to get a start somewhere,
right?
And if you're getting them in these books, especially with a collection of such great writers that I obviously is still in contact with, and are putting out a lot of great work, some award-winning writers now, that is doing a great service to the writing community, in my opinion. So just know, Harriet, that your hard work does not go unnoticed.
Well, she does also a lot of publishing and stuff too. Other than along with her writing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, she writes, she puts out her own works as well. But so for those who don't know, Harriet Everand has been crafting stories since she was 10 years old.
Wow.
That's a long time.
That's one thing I do wish, you
got into it younger.
Yeah, it just had more of an affinity. I would, I'd think of stories when I was playing with my, action figures and stuff like that, but I actually writing anything down.
Well, she's been writing long before she found her way to horror. Because if you know Harriet, you probably associate her with horror because she's published so many horror things. But she was writing before horror took hold. She seems to do to a lot of writers. They get into that horror realm and they stay there. Why? Because the world is terrible, probably.
It's a good fan base.
Yeah, it is a good fan base.
If you can get a following there, if
you can get into crime, romance, or horror, you're usually set. What began as a childhood passion for storytelling grew into a lifelong pursuit of exploring the human condition through fiction. It wasn't until her early 20s that she fell in love with horror and the macabre, drawn to its ability to blend fear, vulnerability, and the supernatural into unforgettable narratives. Now a published author of horror and dark fantasy, Harriet's works include Cursed Legacy, The Summoning, Vile Love, a collection of poems. I don't know why I said sensual. Poems. And Aborted Justice. That's a title. Ooh. That's one of those titles that'll make you want to either read it or run away. Of course, Aborted Justice could be anything, Spencer.
Right, yeah.
It's just the word abort.
Yeah.
It's like one of those ones, in the best case scenario, sci-fi robots.
Yeah.
Some robot action. So in Aborted Justice, with her fiction also appearing in several anthologies, her stories explore cursed bloodlines, psychological unravelings, and the supernatural forces that stalk the edges of ordinary life. Beyond her own writing, Harriet is the founder of January Ember Press. Stephen King poem from It, by the way. January Embers, inspiration. Just a little FYI for those who don't know. She's the founder of January Ember Press, an indie press committed to publishing daring and imaginative voices in horror. Imaginative. I'm getting real gummy from the whiskey.
Yeah.
But I figured 200 episodes, I have to be drinking. You're not drinking because you're borderline sick.
Yeah.
You got some kind of incoming ick. Thanks for getting me sick. I already know I'm going to get sick because I'm drinking. My immune system's lowered and my body is battered from things. Don't worry about it. Harriet makes her home in Cedar Rapids, Iowa with her husband and 4 beloved fur children. I never asked her, but I always wanted to. Why are you living in Iowa still? Because the things going on in Iowa suck ass. Iowa's a beautiful state, I'm sure, but the government, the state government there, it's not a good one. When she isn't writing, she can often be found exploring folklore, unraveling old legends, or finding inspiration in the eerie stillness of the Midwest night. Until then, she continues to conjure nightmares from the heartland, where the nights are long, the fields endless, and the imagination never sleeps. So are you interested in what she's promoting, Spencer?
Yeah, it seems pretty interesting.
I'd imagine a lot of things because she's doing a lot of things all the time.
Yeah.
First up, Voices via Static. That's her short story collection. Because I say a lot of things because she had with running January Ember Press, she's always put out other people's work.
Right.
She also does her own work. So what is Voices via Static about? It is 12 stories, 12 shadows, one collection you will not forget. It says won't forget, but I feel like will not really.
Right. Yeah.
What do I know? I'm a hack. I wish I was a hack. I wish I was good enough to be a hack, Spencer.
Or a has-been. A has-been would be nice.
Has-been would be pretty good, because then you at least did something once.
Yeah.
In this chilling anthology, everyday moments twist into nightmares, and ordinary lives collide with the extraordinary. From cursed bloodlines and haunted ornaments to towns swallowed by impossible darkness, each tale pulls you deeper into a world where dread lingers long after the final page. A radio whispers secrets it should not know. I like that already. A football player finds himself trapped in a locker that will not let him go. I read that in the Gridiron collection that you're in, actually. Yeah, so that was in that collection. A family gathering turns sinister when an heirloom reveals its true nature. I don't know if that's the story from Violent Advents, but it might be. And in the story Veins, a young woman discovers her body is no longer hers to control. It's becoming an instrument for something unspeakable.
Ooh.
Across 12 original stories, voices of love, loss, obsession, and terror blend into a haunting chorus. Each piece stands alone, yet together they weave a tapestry of fear, grief, and the fragile boundaries between sanity and the unknown. She's really good at putting synopses together, because I would never even use the word tapestry, because I'm too dumb to think of tapestry in the actual proper context.
But what's a blanket got to do with it?
Daring, visceral, and impossible to put down. This collection is perfect for fans of psychological horror, supernatural suspense, and dark thrillers that leave you questioning what's real long after you close the book. Are you ready to listen to the whispers and the static? And the ones inside your own head.
I don't want to listen to things in my head. I don't
Well,
want to. I don't want to. I don't want to.
You don't have to.
It's her head.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Until November 8th, 2025, when the book comes out. Then you have to.
Okay.
That is published.
All right.
That is published by January Ember Press. Is that everybody, Spencer?
I think it's everybody, right?
Let's reiterate. We had Tyler C. Gore. We did David Scott Hay, Shane, Stevie, Michael, Big Daddy Louie, Nicholas Obergron. You don't roll the G's, but he doesn't have an R in there for me to roll. He does. We did Harriet, A.D. Jones, Amber Hathaway. I hope I didn't accidentally call her Anne Hathaway like I almost just did. Hayden Robinson, and I think that's all. We've had many guests over the years that I've really enjoyed talking to. I remember Benjamin Cross, for instance. He had the book Colony. We had that guy that was promoting the Son of Sam book that was like a minister or a preacher or something. And it's very New York, I think, if I remember correctly.
The Inuit lady, I can't remember her name.
I saw her and I was going to reach out to her, but I don't think she was too active on stuff. That was on the Drunken Pen. Oops. Oh, shit.
What you do?
No, I just fucking joined a cult. God damn it.
Another one.
Oh, how did I order so many red hats? What the fuck? One click of a button and you got all these hats. Hold on, I got some hearts. It's always porno ladies.
Yeah,
seems like everybody that likes my stuff
all the
It's
time.
always gonna be porno ladies. And not even attainable porno ladies. Like
They're
ones,
not even real ones, most likely.
fake ones. You are talking about Angie Newell.
Yes.
Remember, she was on. She was this was years ago, I think. All I See Is Violence, which is like a historical fiction. She was our first Native American guest, and also probably our last Native American guest.
I think only.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to reach out to her, but she doesn't, as far as I can tell on her Instagram, doesn't have anything new. But yeah, Angie Alita Newell, she was a fun guest.
Yeah.
I do think I remember like the connection wasn't great because she was like over in Canada somewhere. Some other cool guests that I could have probably, or people I could have mentioned was like just different publishers. How about we do that? We'll end the episode with different publishers. Again, there's a lot of writers that have been on the podcast, or I know that I just didn't get a brief look, and this is already this long. So
Yeah.
shout out to Starlight Pulp.
Yes.
Dark Home Publishing.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie does a great job over there. Carrie Holmes. Carrie Holmes is one of my favorite people in the publishing world because she is always eager for great stories. Mm-hmm. And she does such a hard fucking job of she does such a great job and does such hard work putting all this stuff out all the time and being consistent and growing the brand. So I really like that that I'm involved in that, and I got to be in there from Jump Street.
Yep,
that's really cool, and that's another thing I would promote myself if we're going to be promoting work. We'll end it on our own promotion because we're fucking pedantic assholes. Yes. Pedantic's not the word, but it's all I can think of. Also, something very funny I got to tell you off air.
Okay.
Damn it! Sometimes I wish I could say these things on air because they're great, but they're not going to land.
Okay.
Not with any audience. Not our audience. Not any audience. But yeah, Starlight Pulp. Awesome. Mm-hmm. January Ember Press, awesome. Dark Home Publishing, awesome. Mad X Media, awesome. Who's not awesome?
We don't want to talk about the not awesomes.
Siren's Call was awesome.
Yes, it was awesome.
While it lasted. Anybody else awesome that you could think of?
Well, we haven't had anything published by them, but Whiskey Tit seems to be, does a good job of
Whiskey Tit and Saggy Meniscus, both awesome just because the work that they're putting out seems to be fiction that is challenging the market because a lot of the big Penguins and the Scribners or whatever, like they're putting out a lot of horse hockey, in my opinion. We don't need to talk about it anymore because I got to edit this long-ass fucking episode, but promoting our own work, Spencer, I am going to be, as far as I understand, Dark Home is putting out a special collection of the first 3 volumes of Ethereal Nightmares. Nice. I guess it's the only 3 volumes of the trilogy. I was in the first one, but I did an interview with them for this new collection and have a new story.
There you go.
That I believe, unless she changes her mind or goes a different direction, should be in the collection as a new work that nobody's read. You want to pick that up. Spencer, you are going to be in a Hellbound Books collection.
Hopefully soon.
Campfire Stories. Don't have a fucking date on that, but that is coming out soon. And do I have anything else to look forward to, or should I just give up? No.
Give up.
I got rejected recently.
Oh, that's good.
Who was it? Oh, that Drabble story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've only got a message. Not a right fit for us. I think he got overwhelmed with submissions. Also, I want to shit on somebody real hard.
Okay, just end it.
I'm going to end it on shitting on a publication real hard. I'm not going to name the publication yet because I still want to win. But I entered a contest that was said to be, I paid $7 for this contest. Ooh. It was supposed to be announced in August. They said it was going to be announced in August, and now they're just ghosting the world. Not saying anything about it.
To anybody.
No, they're not posting anything about it. And I believe that is bullshit because it's September.
They just took everybody's $7.
Yeah, took my $7, and I want to know what's going on. Yeah, that's the world. So anyway, we thank you if you listened this long. Great. I feel like maybe the authors listened this long, and then once they heard their piece. Yeah. So I really apologize to you, Harry, because she was last, right? So like, you got to listen. I'll just tell her, like, hey, you're at the end.
Yeah.
So you just listen to that part. You don't have to listen to the whole fucking episode unless you really want to hear about other people's works. We should do this more often so we don't have that gigantic episode like this and do it so poorly. Yeah. But anyway, we thank you for listening. Follow us at DPW Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can check out Spencer's OnlyFans. He's down there in Pensacola, Florida, right?
Yeah.
He's down there in Pensacola, and he is pinching pickles. Gross. You can check out my work at calebjameskay.com. Hopefully one day I'll be able to update my publishing history with some good stuff. Until then, thank you for listening, and we'll check you out next week.